Northern Territory leaders will go head-to-head today in a debate ahead of next month's election. Our Darwin Bureau Chief Matt Cunningham is moderating this debate at the NT News Futures event. He joins me now live. Matt, what can we expect to hear? It's a crucial couple of months for the leaders.
Certainly is. Just 37 days to go now, Kieran, until the Northern Territory election. It will be held on August 24. We're here today at the NT Futures event. I'm actually here with the editor of the NT News, Melanie Plain, the NT News hosting this event. Mel, I might just bring you in. Just tell us a bit about what we're talking about here today and the issues we're focusing on ahead of the election.
Yeah, so this is the third time the NT News has hosted the Future Northern Territory forum, I suppose, and over the last 10 days we've been really drilling into some of the core issues affecting the Northern Territory economy, those being energy, defence, education, migration, housing, the list kind of goes on. This morning we've heard from Lucinda Hartley, who's an urban futurist, who's kind of spoken about making the territory a bit more livable and what we can do there. I just had a bit of a Q&A as well with Di Stevens from Charles Darwin University about the medical school that's been funded through the federal budget, which is really exciting.
Yeah, it's a great project. We're going to have a debate between the leaders this afternoon. We're expecting some fireworks.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's the election's all anyone's been speaking about for basically the last 12 months since I moved up to Darwin, and that's not going to end in the next few weeks either. So this afternoon, I think we're going to see a little bit of fireworks between the two leaders there. It's their first showdown in front of a business audience, really, ahead of the election. So it's going to be super interesting to see how that goes.
Certainly will be. Kieran, I'll be hosting that debate this afternoon ahead of a debate that you're hosting a little bit later on in this election campaign. But just over 5 weeks now until we do go to the polls on August 24. It's going to be a really interesting election, this one. I think crime, law and order, community safety and the economy, the big issues that people are talking about here ahead of that poll on August 24.
And Matt, just finally, before you go, do you think that there's an it's time factor as well, given Labor's been in office for so long and Finocchiaro still, she's a well-known proposition now in the Northern Territory?
Well, that's right. It's 8 years since Labor came to power. They won a landslide election victory in 2016 after really the chaos and calamity of the previous CLP government. But I think there is an element of that that we're going to see at this election. 8 years in power, a lot of people would be asking the question, well, what has the Labor government done in those 8 years? Has their life improved in those 8 years? We've spoken at length about some of the crime issues we've seen here in Darwin and particularly in Alice Springs. That's going to be a factor. But also I think the issue of the economy. I mean, we're seeing population growth stall in the Northern Territory. We're seeing large levels of interstate migration that's being offset somewhat by international migration, but it is going to be an interesting election. I think there's been a real shift since Eva Lawler became the Labor Chief Minister in December last year. She has turned the ship around. Labor were looking like they were on track for a really pretty bad defeat. I think she's steadied the ship a bit, but I think it's going to be an interesting one on August 24.
It will be, Matt. Look forward to covering that with you at the time. Appreciate it. Now,